All right. My audience. Okay. An eye for an eye leaves the world blind, or does it? This is often a moral debate on the right or wrong surrounding the death penalty. However, this debate has a factual standpoint as well. The cost of the death penalty, the mental effect that it has on an inmate as well as their family, and the statistics surrounding the death penalty are all factors that play into the conversation of the death penalty. This is my 4th year in the Forensic Science program at MTSU, and I have spent some of this time researching the death penalty. When it comes to the death penalty, there are problems that are encased with it. The solution, however, may not be so hard. First, let's take a look into a couple of problems associated with the death penalty. The death penalty is far more than a moral debate, but rather a question surrounded by factual statistics. The cost of the death penalty is extensive. Studies released by the Tennessee Treasury shows that on average the death penalty costs 48% more than if they were not to seek the death penalty. This number is a result of the trial being more complicated than a non-capital case. In a capital case, forensic experts are brought in and the mental health and social history of the defendant is needed. Additionally, the jury selection is much more time-consuming and extensive, resulting in higher court costs. According to Michael Carter's article, the mental state of not only the inmate is affected, but the family as well. The average amount of time a person will spend while waiting for death by lethal injection is 12 years. While during this time, most inmates will suffer from what is known as death row syndrome. The awaiting families also struggle with the long wait of the death of a loved one. This can prove to be a very traumatic effect for them. The pain of waiting or watching the death is more painful than knowing a family member is in jail and alive. There's also statistics that can affect the death penalty on all aspects of the spectrum. There's no deterrence with the death penalty. As can be seen in the chart combining the U.S. Census report along with FBI murder rates, there is a trend which states the death penalty will have higher murder rates. In the 2009 survey of the most leading criminologists, which can be found in the Journal of Criminal Law and Criminology by Professor Michael Radlett, it's shown that 88% of them believe that the death penalty has no deterrence of crime. In fact, 75% of them believe the topic and argument of the death penalty is actually serving as a distraction to Congress, keeping them from achieving the real problems surrounding crime. Lastly, let's take a look into possible solutions and benefits that come along with it. What would happen if the death penalty was removed from all states? There are actually numerous benefits that would come along with doing this, as can be seen in the International Amnesty Report. The death penalty is irreversible. Getting rid of it allows for the opportunity for appeals. Because in a legal system where a group of people are a deciding factor, there is room for error. There is always constant science development in today's time when considering crime. When dealing with ending a person's life, there should be certainty in it, as it removes all chances of a possible appeal. It is an act that cannot be undone. As seen in the article from Death Penalty Info Center, places like Canada, who have gotten rid of the death penalty over 40 years ago, have seen a steady decrease in crime. Although they cannot directly link the abolishment of the death penalty to the decrease in crime, it does show that the death penalty is not a necessary factor when maintaining crime. There are other avenues that the government can take to lower crime rate. Not having the death penalty leads to less mental health issues. Keeping the inmates convicted rather than on death row allows for family members to stay in connection with them. The emotional strain that the death penalty has on a person's family can result in extensive mental health issues. Waiting for the day of the death penalty and possibly watching the death occur is a life-altering event. The cost of the death penalty, the mental effects it has, and the overall statistics all point in the direction of abolishing the death penalty. The death penalty has also been looked at as a matter of morality, when rather it should be viewed in the case of facts. In our legal system, we have had a way set in stone by our founding fathers and all in Congress who follow. However, as we evolve, so should the justice system. The death penalty is costly to taxpayers as they are paying for court expenses. It can result in unnecessary health issues for the inmates and their family. And lastly, there is no proven fact that the death penalty is even beneficial in preventing crime. Why place someone on death penalty if only presenting a negative solution to a negative act? Getting rid of the death penalty is a positive solution. So in rethinking a well-known quote, yes, an eye for an eye does leave the world blind.